Qualifier tournament number 1A for the Super Metroid 100% tournament. I am Cerberoth, and with me is Peanut Butter, and we're going to be bringing all of the Super Metroid action here. This is going to be very hot. What do you say, Peanut Butter?
I'm really excited for this. 100% is my personal favorite category because there's a lot of tech that you just don't see in other categories, except maybe reverse boss order. So, yes, I'm hyped.
Oh yeah, we're going to be seeing all of the tech. We have 4 of the most spectacular runners in Super Metroid here on the feature right now. We have in the top left, Kip. In the bottom left, we have Antinomy, also known as Sephiroth. In the top right, we have Sloters27. And in second place, 100%. In the bottom right, we have Shiny Zenny with a time of 1:13.50 something. He's going to be the runner to watch tonight, I think.
Yeah, but don't discount any of these runners. They all are very good runners.
Absolutely. That 100% is a very, very technical run, and any slight mistake is going to cost you down the line. So this is going to be awesome. It's not going to be over until it's over. We see Mother Brain's head hit the floor, and our runners go down into the ship.
Yep.
And not much to say to that one.
Yeah, there's not much to say. That's just about it.
Yeah, we are just about ready, folks. So with the 100%, right? Let's talk about some of our favorite strategies that we're going to be seeing tonight, right? There's 2 different routes. Let's talk about the early grapple route a little bit. Why don't I kick us off with that, Peanut Butter?
Early grapple is basically what it is. What it sounds like. You get grapple earlier on than you would in the other route, which could also be called early Crocomire.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between the 2 routes is about 20 seconds. However, early Crocomire is way more technical. It's much more difficult than early grapple. And so I don't really expect anyone except maybe Zenny to go for tonight. But I'm excited anyway to see what these guys do.
You mean the early ice route, right? As opposed to the early
sorry, yeah.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Words are hard.
Aren't they though? Absolutely. Yeah, just wanna be clear for our viewers here. There are 2 routes.
So they don't misunderstand.
Yep, no, it's okay. Yeah, we got that early grapple.
Keep me honest.
Yeah, you know. And so we're off here. We're seeing Cirrus Station. So what are the kind of the pitfalls that our runners can run into with Cirrus Station?
So the first thing that a lot of people do when they first start running this game is they run straight into the doors, because these doors, unlike every other doors in the game, they open when you get close. You don't have to shoot them open. So you have to stop in front of them, then run through. And after that, you have to go get back out of Cirrus Station, which is what they're doing right now. And that's also difficult because there are falling rocks and steam that you have to dodge so you don't lose too much time.
Yeah, the steam absolutely can be trolly here to our runners, and we'll see how they all do. Looks like they are all doing fairly well. Zenny,
they all got hit by 1 or 2.
yeah.
It's really hard not to. But we see, looks like everyone got a damage boost.
Yeah, that damage boost is spectacular looking. We're going to be seeing a number of those. So
Zenny with a 46 on the escape.
Yeah, really good. Why don't you talk to us about the damage boost? What are our runners doing there when they do a damage boost?
So a damage boost in those ones is they quickly turn around, and the developers decided in the first couple frames after you get hit, you're able to quickly recoil from the damage. And so they turn around, and because they're technically facing behind them, they hit the back button, and then they go flying the opposite direction.
Yeah, absolutely interesting choice from our the developers here, the Deer Force team. It's like they knew that 30-some years later we were going to be running Metroid. Right? It's 30 years. What's this game? 1994? Not quite. But yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how just this game is so optimized, and they're still finding things.
Yes, like this here, we're seeing a lot of moonfall here, a relatively new trick that maybe a year or year and a half ago, something like that. Basically, our runners have a moonfall on, and they kind of jump backwards off the platform, doing a down back, something like that. And then
Too much.
Samus doesn't have fall speed anymore. There's no cap. She just
Yeah,
falls.
and it goes so fast that there's actually on the right side is normally where you'd fall down, but it actually you go so fast you just clip through a block, and you're able to fall all the way to the ground.
Yeah, the
It's
time.
fantastic.
Yeah, the time differential in that room alone is staggering. It's about 1.5 seconds, something like that. Using Moonfall versus not. It's crazy different.
Yeah, I believe top to bottom it's about 4 seconds when you moonfall, as opposed to about 6.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So,
I remember right.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy difference in time. And
we're going to see all of them are going up, and in that little area, so they abuse the thing where you can shoot one little pellet, and it'll hit multiple blocks, because if you're slightly onto the side of a block, you can actually shoot past it, still break that block, and also break the ones ahead of it. And so they're able to take one shot and immediately jump up there, which is something that surprisingly took a while for people to start doing.
Yeah, it's a really nice optimization. One little power shot, and boom, both of the blocks are out of the way. You can jump up a little bit faster. We see Kip up in the upper left here doing some behemoth climb strats, whereas Sloter's taking a right wall climb. Ugh, words are hard. We've already established.
If I remember right, the reason some people jump rather than wall jump up the side is because jump is actually slightly faster. I don't know by how much, but jumping is faster than wall jumping vertically by very slightly.
Yes, that behemoth strat is ever so slightly faster. That's yeah, but like if you're talking about the level of somebody like Zosty or Behemoth, you're really not going to be able to tell the difference.
Oh, definitely not.
So, so we have a really difficult trick coming up here that's really spectacular called the Alcatraz escape right after this bomb chorizo fight. Why don't you talk to us about that a little bit?
So the Alcatraz escape is, I think, one of the earliest pitfalls that a lot of runners have when they first pick up this game, because it's so early in the run. And if you see Zenny right here, you wall jump up the side there, because you're supposed to go to the right and bomb, but that just takes too long. You're supposed to do this fast.
Yeah.
And so if you wall jump on the side there, and if you wall jump at the very bottom of that thing, and then you hold down right after you wall jump, you'll turn into a ball and be able to go straight through.
Yeah, that is absolutely spectacular looking. I love that trick. Fantastic every single time.
And coming up here, actually, we'll be getting another trick so we can get super missiles early. Would you like to explain that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Our early mock ball. So what our runners are going to be doing is they're actually going to be running and jumping. And this one, they'll buffer it through the door, which is really nice. And what they'll do is at the same frame that they hit the floor, they will press down and ball up and then kind of Hadouken right over, and they will keep their run speed, and they'll be able to run right through both of these gates. As you see Zenny, boom, execute it perfectly. And I expect none of these runners to miss this. And they pick up these super missiles here. Now Zenny looks like he's going to get this damage boost off this waiver, and that's going to kick him back to go open up the red door at the back of the room and collect the items back there. Really nicely done.
And looks like everyone's at about the same point. Looks like everyone's getting that damage boost, which is great. It's not only a time save because it knocks you back, but also because it gives you invincibility frames, so you don't have to worry about all the other annoying creatures that are just around in that area.
Yep.
So you can just go up, get the supers, get out.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a number of them in that room, as you can tell.
Let's see if Zenny will get the quick mock ball. He does. Perfect.
That is the most difficult mock ball in the game right there.
Yeah.
And just straight up most difficult mock ball in the game. Spectacular. There's very, very tight window to execute that.
There's also a harder strat that none of these runners went for, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
If you do a quick drop through those fall blocks onto the missile and then jump up, you can make it through. You don't have to bomb that or go through there.
Yeah.
But that is very difficult. I don't think there's a single runner right now who's actually implemented that because it's just that hard.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing anybody do that. Yeah, but all 4 of our runners getting that reverse mock ball, spectacular there, and we're gonna be seeing them pick up the charge beam here. One thing that we're gonna note as they get into Big Pink here, our runners are going to be skipping over these missiles that are up at the top here just before charge beam, and you're gonna go, oh no, they have to get that. Well, that's okay. This is 100%. They're gonna come back and get those later. It's a little bit faster to get them when you're laying a power bomb later on to come back and collect the item down underneath in what we call the waterway.
Yeah, and I'd say the waterway is casually one of the hardest things to find if you're trying to get 100% just casually.
Absolutely.
Because it is, it's down where they got charge beam, and there's just a 1 power bomb block, and I think it's one of maybe 3 places in the game where there's a single block that is you can only power bomb.
Yeah,
it isn't common.
No, it is not. It's not common in this game. That's very true, and yeah, it's really really kind of unique spot in the game. All right, so we are going to be picking up the Spazer beam here. You see our runners are coming up here. This is, again, 100%. We got to pick up everything. It's very likely that we see our runners turn this off at some point in time a little bit later.
Oh, yeah. I expect some of them. I don't know if all of them will, where I think they will, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them will. What they're going to want is they're going to want to they'll pick up the wave beam after they do some cleanup down here in Upper Norfair, and that's kind of when we'll see them turn the Spazer beam off at some point after that, so they can use that wave beam for possibly X Factors on Fantoon. Now, these days, it is typical to see Doppler strats, and that will save on the pause. So we'll see who decides to go with those Doppler strats. That's much more of an any percent style strat, but it's very possible to use that in 100%. Well, frankly, anything.
It's also a little bit easier, I'd say, because it's less about, oh, I have to do X Factor in this specific way, whereas, oh, he's doing this pattern, I shoot him with a missile and then Doppler him.
Yeah, and if you blinked, then you missed Shiny Zenny defeating Kraid with that fantastic Kraid Quick-Ho, and we're going to be seeing that 3 more times, folks, so don't blink. Here's
getting it perfectly.
Yeah. So what that is our runners are able to jam 2 missiles. The first one kind of hits Kraid's eye. The second one hits Kraid in his open mouth as it's opening. And then the 3 super missiles at the perfect frame where Kraid has his mouth open and kind of gets stunned. And boom, there's 1,000 damage, Kraid down.
And it's good to note that if they hit him with just 1 super and he wasn't stuck like that, he would immediately close his mouth, and then you have to go into a second phase, which is very slow.
Yeah, we do not want to see Kraid stand up. That is absolutely super slow.
Let's see. So now that they have Varia Suit, there's a couple things that Varia Suit actually does. And first and foremost, you don't get hot anymore. At least, not really. So they're gonna be able to go through the rest of Norfair and be able to actually go through it without having to burn repeatedly, which you'll see in runs like Reverse Boss Order, and there's a couple more. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But there's one other thing that's very important, not in this run, but Varia Suit is what determines whether or not you need 5 E-Tanks or 3 E-Tanks to actually survive Mother Beam's Death Ray at the end of the game.
Yep. we're going to be absolutely seeing some stand-up later on when we get to that point. So we'll see if runners decide to keep the Varia suit on or turn it off at some point. That'll play a
I doubt
factor
they'll
in.
turn it off. I guess we'll see, though.
Yeah, these the runners of this caliber, but later on, since this is a qualifier, and there are almost 30 runners in this race, it's possible that when we start to feature some of the other runners, at that point in time, they may have the Varia suit off.
That is very true.
Yep, there's a lot of folks in this race, not just the 4 folks that you are seeing here tonight on screen. So we're going to be here through all of them.
Yeah, this is the first of, I believe, 8 separate races that'll be happening. Parts of 4 different qualifiers. And top 48 move on. Top 48 times. And in case anyone's listening to this and wants to go, you don't have to just go for one qualifier. You can run in all 4 if you want.
Yeah, there are multiple rounds to this. There are 2 races in each round. This is tonight's race, is round 1A. And tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, please check your local time for correction there, will be a round 1B race. So if you're not racing tonight, you could race tomorrow morning and still get in round 1. All right, we see it. Shiny Zenny going to be coming up on the speed booster here. Speedrunner's favorite item because it allows you to go fast.
It's my favorite item personally as well.
I much prefer the spring ball. We're going to see that later on.
Spring ball does have some of my favorite strats.
Best
Only
item
because there was a point where spring ball was considered completely useless until people decided, you know what, we want to make this useful. And it became extremely useful.
It is incredibly useful. There's some really, really cool strats you can see, particularly in randomizers, where you can find the spring ball a lot earlier. Unfortunately, in the vanilla game, spring ball is tucked away in a spot that is not spectacular for making it very useful behind Shack Tool. But in 100%, our runners are going to be getting it.
And so I think honestly the most annoying thing about spring ball is how long you have to wait to get it.
Yeah,
but
yes.
We'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone, Zenny's been picking up Wave Beam. The others are just getting out of Speed Booster.
Yeah, and so
Kip is now picking up Wave as well.
Yeah, so this is actually it. We have hit the point of divergence in this run. And so we're going to see which runners are going to run across the Frog Speedway and go pick up the early Ice Beam versus instead go down and not into the Frog Speedway and go pick up that Grapple Beam. They're going to visit Crocomire. If a runner chooses to go visit the early Ice, they're going to come back to Crocomire much, much later after Ridley. And so it looks like Zenny is going for that early Ice.
Ice Beam is probably one of the most interesting items in this game because it has so many varied uses that you don't realize until you start messing around with it. So what Ice does is it freezes enemies, kind of simple. But there's a lot of things, such as you're able to go through Meridia without having Gravity Suit just because you have Ice Beam, and High Jump Boots definitely help with that.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You see that featured in Reverse Boss Order. Randomizers feature that when you see Suitless. Meridia. We see Kip here going down to Crocomire, and that is an indicator that, as well as Sloaters and Antinomy, they're all going to be going for that early grapple route. So we're going to be seeing them now. The interesting thing here is they're going to have an additional E-Tank that Zenny is not going to have until much, much later. So it's going to make things a little bit trickier for Zenny as he's going to fight Fantoon right now. But Zenny, that should be no problem for a runner of his caliber.
Fantoon is Easily, I'd say probably the most difficult boss in this game, solely because you can run into him when you have basically nothing.
Yep.
And he does so much damage. I'd say the #1 any % run killer. I know
Absolutely.
personally, I'd say 80% of my any % runs died at Fantoon.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree. Even if you're going to do the old route, as we say, the Kraid first route, right? As opposed to the Fantoon first route. That is a clear indicator your most of your runs are going to die there. Yeah, Fantoon, like, it's especially not knowing Fantoon's patterns. Fantoon can really just be a disaster for you.
Absolutely. And so it looks like Zenny is the only one who is not going with the early Crocomire route. And so we'll see a very different landscape on his screen as opposed to everyone else. But I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so they will our runners. So the other 3 runners that we're currently featuring, they won't match up with Zenny until we get to much later on. That is until our runners pick up the X-ray scope. Once they get to that point, that's when these kind of 2 routes diverge, or I mean converge again.
You see Zenny using I'd say one of my favorite Speed Booster strats, and that is using Speed Booster not to Shine Spark, but just to kill enemies, because it kills pretty much everything.
Yeah,
except bosses.
Yeah, the damage.
And it still does stupid damage to them.
Yeah, the damage is spectacular. We'll be seeing Speed Booster strats from through Dragon from probably all these runners. Kip getting a really awesome Indiana Jones a little bit ago. Now in the wave room here. Sign room, cosine room, whatever you want to call it. Seffi going for that Indiana Jones, and Slaughter's having just finished it. Yeah, that is awesome. Looks like Zenny is setting up for a Ocean Fly. Yeah, yep. I think he got it there.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that a little bit harder to do with the fully charged beam. A super missile is actually the easiest way to do that strat. But Zenny, you're going for some swag.
Yeah, and at this point of the run, ammo management is very important, because it's very... I've definitely gotten to this point and realized I do not have enough missiles to actually kill Fantoon. Yeah, nor do I have enough power bombs to easily X-Factor. Because I'm not the best at X-Factoring.
Yeah, 44, 49 right now. I think that'll be plenty for Zenny. But yeah, he hasn't turned off those beams as we were talking about. So I can almost guarantee we're going to be seeing those Doppler strats that we talked about. Just for those folks who are unfamiliar with the Doppler strats, what that is basically Zenny is going to shoot Fantoon with a missile in the eye to get it to float around. Then he's going to shoot it, he's going to shoot it with 2 missiles. And then he's going to try to shoot it with 2 more missiles. So that's only 4. And 5 will make Fantoon disappear. So when Fantoon kind of cycles back around, Zenny is going to start shooting missiles and run into Fantoon while it's stunned to shoot more missiles into him. You can get about 8 to 10 missiles into Fantoon that way. If he does it really well, he can make this a 2-round.
And I think interesting is the way it works is after you hit Fantoon's eye enough, actually his eye will close after 10 frames. But missiles, when you do it this way, have between 8 and 9 frame cooldown time. So you're able to just destroy him with missiles.
Zenny 1 missile off, unfortunately getting the enraged Fantoon here.
And this happens anytime you hit Fantoon with a super missile that will not kill him.
Yeah.
Because you want to use super missiles on Fantoon because they do double damage. However, you don't want to do them because they're slow and it's... you don't want to deal with his fire. You just don't.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with this here, with Zenny's dealing with right now. 13-second time loss there for that, but that's all right.
Still a very good Fantoon fight.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about 3 rounds, 2 really nice Dopplers. Um,
And it's very hard to count missiles when you're doing that because you have to shoot missiles as fast as you can.
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, whenever people 2-cycle Phantoon with Doppler, I'm impressed, and 3-cycling is still impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that a really slick jump there by Zenny. As we see the rest of our runners, as they look like they're behind Zenny by a lot, but that's not true because they've gone and done Crocomire, which Zenny opted to skip for the moment. He's going to come do that much later.
And if you see in this power bomb room, Sloters and Antimony did a slightly different strat than Zenny. What Zenny did is he just stayed blue and jumped into the enemies to kill them, but they did the very much easier strat of speed boostering straight into the room and then shine sparking into the last two Geemers.
Yep.
Not Geemers. What are they called? They're not Geemers.
Those are side hoppers.
Side hoppers, thank you.
Yep,
Yeah, Geemers are the little purple things.
The Geemers are the green things that float around in criteria here.
Yeah,
like in the first room. So there's an awesome ocean fly by Sloters.
See, looks everyone else is now getting direct ship.
Yeah, looks like Antinomy is going for a kind of half strat there. That does save a bit of energy. Having 141 energy coming into Phantoon. Energy going to be really important. Especially for the room coming up here, that Zenny is actually going back through, and the spiky room of death. This room right here can absolutely end your 100% run. If you go through those platforms, they're going to do 100 damage to you, straight up. 100 damage, one of those blocks.
I tried like finding some going strats, and it didn't work out in my favor ever.
Yeah, no, and it's even worse if you get double hit by them, because you're just at this point in time, you see how much energy our runners have. Yeah, they're just gonna be dead to that.
Zenny beautifully clearing out that room, and now we have 3 people on the Phantoon fight.
Yeah, that attic was absolutely spectacular by Zenny.
Kip with a beautiful Doppler.
Yeah.
And he's done.
Yeah, really nice there by Kip. Just well handled here. Sloters. All right, that was certainly a good round there. The one thing that that you want to do with Phantoon, and this is really difficult, really advanced kind of stuff. You see that Sloters kept Phantoon on screen there. That is just ever so slightly faster than what he did with the first round. Where he let Phantoon kind of go off screen a little bit. Now it's much easier to set up when Phantoon goes off screen, but of course you give up a little bit of time there.
And we'll see off screen perfectly timed in terms of commentary by Antimony. And everyone had a very clean Phantoon fight. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried about Antimony because he did not have a lot of energy, but he pulled through. Beautiful fight.
No, 96 energy. So remember, we talked about, right? He's going to go into that spiky room of death with 136 plus whatever's in reserve. And if he gets double KO'd or double hit off a KO through those spike platforms, well, it'll kill him because it'll take whatever's in his reserve.
Yeah.
We are not hoping for that for any one of our runners tonight.
No, we want to see everyone complete this, and 100% is it's definitely not the most dangerous of any route by any means, but it's very easy to die at these early stages, especially in a wrecked ship.
Yeah, once you collect this, once you get through that spiky room of death that we see Kip has gotten through, and you collect this energy tank here, the wrecked ship energy tank, the death prospects kind of, they go way down, right? Samus becomes pretty overpowered at this point in time. We're just going to collect a ton more energy tanks. Whoa!
Sloters almost.
Yeah.
Whenever you see someone get stuck there, it's terrifying because you just have to wait for the platforms. There's nothing you can really do but wait.
Yeah, those spikes are still 60 damage each time you get hit by them, so it's a lot. That room is just nasty.
If I remember right, there's a ROM hack called Super Metroid Impossible that was never meant to be completed, but of course people like Oats and Goats actually did it at AGDQ, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But that room was unchanged. They changed pretty much every room except that one. They left it the same because it was hard enough.
Yeah, it is still pretty hard. There's a cadence to the room, so if you can get in there in the right cadence, you can kind of just flow through there. As we see, Slaughter's having no problems making his way back through that room, and we're gonna see Antinomy come back through that room in just a second.
Kip showing us some slightly different strats for clearing out this room using power bombs, but it's just as effective, only maybe a couple seconds slower.
Yeah, that's my favorite way to clean out that room, the attic up here. And now he's going to deal with these work robots. Clips through the second one. He's got the third one going backwards, so he's not going to be able to clip through that, unfortunately. Very nice speed keep there by Sloters. That's the strat we saw earlier that Shiny Zenny did with the side hopper rooms to collect the power bombs.
Yeah.
At the top of Red Tower.
If I'm not mistaken, Shiny Zenny's about to attempt a wraparound shot, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. Would you like to explain that?
Yeah, so what Shiny Zenny's going to be doing here, he's going to be setting up at kind of the right pixel, running over, shooting the left side. The door, the rooms are actually kind of mirrored in the Super Metroid's memory. So what he's able to do there is he's able to just get the shot kind of in a spot where it goes off screen and opens up that door all the way on the right. Because of the way that the doors are mirrored in the memory. And he's able to shine spark perfectly right through here to pick up this E-Tank here in the gauntlet. And he's got a second shine spark that he's going to shine spark his way through the other side of the gauntlet. This is a spectacularly done, well-executed gauntlet.
And it's very important to note that you can only shine spark for a few seconds after you've actually charged it. It'll go away. You can't keep it forever. And so you have to morph ball and get up into the right position just fast enough to be able to spark through the second half.
Yeah, that was unbelievably well executed. Plus, the quick drops there, super dangerous to pick up both missiles, because if you slip or whatever, you fall too much, you miss both of those missile packs or one of those missile packs, and you have to go all the way around again. We wouldn't see any of our runners do that until it's time to go hit Torian. But that would be a giant time loss. They don't want that to happen.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's one of the places where some people will just reset unless they're on really good pace, where they know they can make it up or still get a PB.
Yeah.
But if you're going for world record times, likely you're not going to be able to get it when you don't get Gauntlet.
Yeah, this being a qualifier race, I don't think we're going to be seeing anybody reset on that tonight. We'll just see them go through. They are going to want to qualify for our 48-player bracket tournament that is going to be coming up after all of our qualifier rounds are completed.
Slaughter is actually doing something I don't see much, and that is just sitting on the left robot and then shooting the right robot with wave beam to get him to move before you're able to hit him normally. I should start doing that. I will.
That's one of the best things about commentating these things. We can pick up strats off of other runners and see what they're doing.
Here's another cool mock ball coming from Zenny. Mm-hmm. If you mock ball that just right, you don't have. If you just normal morph ball through that, you'll fall all the way back down the pit, which no one wants to do because no one likes pits.
Yep.
I mean, why would you?
But
if you mock ball, you get enough speed to get across it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird how that works out, that you have just enough speed. All right, no visiting the Decora tonight for Shiny Zenny there. All right, so Shiny Zenny has laid that power bomb there to open up both the blocks right underneath of him and the door, the power bomb door. And he's going to go over here and he's going to perform a strat called Mission Impossible. Super missile, boom. And basically what he's going to do is he's going to bounce right back up off the floor and through the crumble back block before it reforms. Spectacular.
Just like that. Beautifully.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you can do that because just the timing that the crumble block takes to... And you see that door is now a blue door there as opposed to a power bomb door.
And now we see Kip, and Sloters is going to be doing the same wraparound shot as Shiny Zenny did.
Yeah,
And
Gauntlet Spark... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, again, Shiny Zenny is not super far ahead. He's just done different parts of the game first.
Yes, they have done different routes. Yeah, Gauntlet Spark, I think, is one of my absolute favorite Sparks, featured here in 100%. Just always looks spectacular.
Unfortunately, Kip didn't get the second one, so you'll have to see the slightly slower power bomb and damage boosting strats, but he still gets through just fine.
Yeah,
those... Oh, we just missed Zenny. He went... No one likes to fight Spore Spawn, so what he did is he said, I don't want to fight Spore Spawn, so I'm just going to open the block from behind. And if you're on a few specific pixels, then there's a block, the one that he's just shot with the super missile, that you can shoot from the other side. Completely skip the mini boss Spore Spawn.
What's Spore Spawn? I'm not familiar with this. Is there like some DLC to this game that I don't know
It's that
about?
one that you see like your little cousin fight, and you're like, "What's that thing?"
Yeah, I don't know. What is the Spore Spawn? Yeah, absolutely. Spore Spawn skip a crucial part. Nobody wants to fight Spore Spawn.
Spore Spawn is not a difficult boss in the slightest, but it is probably, with optimal strats, the longest boss.
It just takes too long in between each of the rounds. I mean, unless you're regular at doing Spore Spawn RTA, you're not gonna one round it. Like,
no.
And even then, it takes forever for it to open up its mouth, and just nobody wants to see that.
No, definitely not. And we see Antimony also getting both sides of Gauntlet, which is very good.
Yeah,
I would hate to see anyone not get both sides of Gauntlet in one try.
Yeah, that's it's just a disaster.
The biggest feels bad, man.
Yeah, coming up here, our runners are completing a lot of this Brinstar cleanup stuff they didn't pick up earlier, right? Those missiles that we saw that they kind of skipped earlier by Charge Beam, they're picking up in Big Pink, etc., etc. And coming up here, actually, Zenny is much closer to this than our other runners, only because of the route choices. But Meridia is coming up, the most technical section of the game. Not necessarily the most difficult, but the most technical.
Definitely.
And there's just so much that, if you don't do efficiently, you are going to lose time. And that is this section here.
Zenny getting a perfect short charge, be able to get that missile.
Yeah.
Normally, if you want to get that missile and you're not able to quick charge or short charge, what you need to do is you need to go in a door at the bottom right and charge it in a big long room. But no one wants to do that. It also wastes super missiles.
Super missiles, time for the door transitions. There's the sizers that are in the way, or the crabs, better known as.
Kip unfortunately didn't complete Mission Impossible.
Yeah, there's a reason why we call that trick Mission Impossible. It is really hard.
Let's see if Sloters can channel his inner Tom Cruise and complete Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Good setup. Really nice setup.
Oh.
Oh.
Bonked his head just barely.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. He looked like he got the setup for that, and just going through the long way just always sucks.
Yeah.
So there's usually it's interesting. We see Kip did Spore Spawn skip first, and Sloters instead went up to the Big Pink E-Tank. So usually when runners miss the Mission Impossible, they do the Spore Spawn skip to go get the Spore Spawn supers before coming up to get this E-Tank. But we see Slaughter's doing it the opposite way. Doesn't really matter. I think it's a little bit more efficient if you're not going to do Mission Impossible to get the supers first. But it just depends on the runner, what they want to do.
Perfect lineup by Sloters.
Mhm.
There you can see the Spore Spawn skip. Because no one likes that boss.
Yeah, so what that is the block is actually, if you kind of put it on screen, it's programmed to basically not be there. You're not actually allowed to shoot that with a super missile to get through the other way. So the programmers of the game, they had some foresight in that, but if you line it up just right, the block is kind of there on the absolute edge, and you can shoot it with a super missile and get through the back way.
They're just kind of playing with how Super Metroid loads blocks or tiles, I guess.
Yep.
And normally, like, you can't just run up to the edge of that thing and shoot it. You have to be on a specific pixel.
Yep.
And I remember us trying to help someone do that. Not someone who's speedrunning it, just someone casually. And they were like, well, if it's just loading it on screen, doesn't matter how close I am. No, it does matter.
Yeah.
Because it's the difference between getting it and sitting there, realizing you didn't have enough supers, and having to grind at the little station there.
Yeah, you want it to be just off screen, something like that. There's a couple of different spots where you can line it up and shoot the missile and have it be. Whoa!
Zenny with a beautiful bot rune.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, man, I blinked and missed that. So, Zenny not missing the bot wound E-Tank here. There are 3 opportunities to come and get that, this being the first.
And we'll see if Zenny gets the halfy or full halfy.
Oh, this is definitely a full halfy.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And basically what full halfy or halfy is, you can charge up a Shine Spark, and if you wall jump up to the top of the long room fast enough, you're able to Shine Spark across. And if you Shine Spark high enough, but also low enough not to hit the ceiling, you can get across the whole thing. It's called a full halfy. And the reason it's called a halfy and a full halfy is because for a while, people only thought the halfy was ever really viable for RTA runs.
Yep. They did not believe that you could get all the way across the Coliseum there, and therefore it was called a halfy because you only got about halfway off of it. And then when they figured out, wait, we can get all the way across, then it was the full halfy,
which I think is the best naming scheme ever. Shiny Zenny with a beautiful X Factor with a Shine Spark. He's gonna try and kill Botwoon with a Shine Spark here.
Yeah, now this is... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. He missed it.
He can still get this, actually, off of the turret.
And he did.
And he did.
Beautiful backup.
Yeah. That's double frame... basically double frame perfect there. And what Shiny Zenny has done there is he has what's called a spike suit. So he's executed that Shine Spark in a specific way and hit the ceiling and did some other stuff with his button presses. And now he has a Shine Spark stored and can run. And we're going to be seeing him use that in the Coliseum here to get basically the reverse halfy.
Yep. Gets it right there.
There it is. There's that Shine Spark. We're going to be seeing that at least one more time.
I think everyone will get some, or at least attempt some variation of blue suit or spike suit. But it is difficult.
Oh, I meant with Shiny Zenny's run, we'll see that at least one more time.
Oh, yeah. With him, we definitely will.
Yeah, everybody else here will be going for the reverse halfy, if not getting the reverse halfy. Most of them will probably be going off of the manner of what you talked about, with getting that blue suit off of Botwoon. Or, not Botwoon, Dragon. Whoa.
Dragon.
Yeah. All right, so Kip and Slaughter's up in the watering hole here. Going to be getting some super missiles and missiles down here. As we said, not much danger of any of our runners dying, but very technical at this point in time. Any kind of small slip or whatever is gonna be a mistake that costs our runner time, and that is what's important when we are in a speed runner, or in a speed run.
I'm just glad that they remembered to go for watering hole, because one of the last 100% tourneys I saw, someone didn't go into watering hole and they finished with I think 97%, and I just felt so bad because I know whenever I play through this, I always forget watering hole because you never want to go to watering hole, you just have to.
Yeah, this is absolutely one of several areas that are easy to forget about in 100%. Absolutely. But
you see Zenny at everyone's favorite part in 100%, and that's waiting for spring ball.
Yep. That was so. What Zenny did there was he did an ice clip up into Shack Tool. What you can do is you can freeze the Puyo, that's that little yellow thing, at a specific frame in its jump, and it puts it at a specific height. That what it's going to do when Samus kind of gets up on top of it is it's going to jam Samus's head through the top of the tile there, and then she's able to just kind of jump through.
You see Kip attempting the full halfie.
This looks
and
like
he gets
a great setup.
Beautiful.
Yep. Always awesome to see. All right, Sloter's missing the one round on Bot Woon here, but making up for it by just jamming another missile into the.
I'm glad Sloter's got that, because at the amount of health, the less health Batoon has, the faster he moves, and the harder it is to hit him.
Yeah.
So being able to immediately kill him right after is perfect.
Oh yeah, Bot Woon, worst hitbox in the game.
Floater's also getting the full halfie. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Loving it.
That Ocean Fly, the spectacular Shine Sparks. We talked about a Gauntlet Spark, right?
Yes. I believe so. Yeah, we did.
These are awesome Shine Sparks. All right, keep going for the Shine Spark kill. Now, so our other runners here have the option to kill Dragon with the grapple strat. That's a little bit slower than the Shine Spark strats that we see our runners actually using. But that is another option that we can see the runners who chose to pick up that grapple beam execute. All right, Kip getting that spike suit as well. So we're going to be seeing a reverse halfie from him.
I'm just going to say, for those who don't know, the grapple strat is you use grapple beam, you let Dragon grab you, and then you grapple the electricity on the side, and P dies pretty quickly.
Yeah, she just doesn't like electricity. Yeah, Antinomy getting the halfie there, not the full halfie, a little bit low, but that's okay. Was able to get across Coliseum, no problem.
And we'll see him fighting Dragon here now.
Yep.
Likely employing similar strats, because I feel like everyone will be going for at least the most optimal they're comfortable with strats.
Yeah. Everybody's always going to kill those turrets in the room, so you're going to start off with that. Otherwise, they'll shoot you and troll you. And then after that, it's whatever you want to do to defeat Bot Woon or Dragon as fast as possible. All right, so Shiny gonna go pick up the last items in the last sand pit, and then out of Meridia and into Norfair. There it is. There's that blue suit for Antinomy.
And he goes for spike suit.
He gets it.
I love the progression. So at first, like, so many people were just like, I have blue suit. I know I can go for spike suit, but I don't want to. I'm not gonna risk it. But now people are saying, I got blue suit. I don't care. I'm still gonna go for spike suit because it is faster. I love it.
Yeah, it's a double frame perfect trick, so I can understand the hesitation at first, right? It's it's really, really tough. But like, it just shows the gumption of Super Metroid runners, right? Like, at first nobody did Moonfall. Now almost everybody does Moonfall, right? Like, there's been a lot of kind of stuff that as people learn it, it just gets integrated in. And it makes runs better. It makes runs faster. It makes runs cooler, frankly, to see all of the tech. And none of this is really glitches per se. I mean, the clips are, but like most of the rest of this stuff is just abuses of the physics system.
Yeah, and a lot of it is also just things the game designers said, we want the player to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then speedrunners went and said, hey, I bet I can do this with it. And it works.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of these wall jumps, these shine sparks. Now, obviously, the spike suit isn't something that the developers put in on purpose, but all these shine sparks that you're seeing get executed, that shine spark is part of the game.
Yeah. I guess in this little period where nobody's really at a point where there's much interesting, it's just kind of cleanup. We mentioned short and quick charging before, and basically what that is the way you charge up a shine spark is you have to hold the run button, whatever you have it set to, and that makes you go pretty far and pretty fast.
Yep.
But what short and quick charging is the game only checks on certain frames for you if you're actually pressing the B button to say, hey, we're charging a shine spark. And if you only press the B button on those frames, you're able to still charge a shine spark just pressing the B button 4 times.
Yeah, and you can do it in a lot shorter of a distance. I see there's a question in chat that some of our runners may have skipped over the bot wound E-tank. We mentioned this a little bit earlier before, but for those who are just joining, there are 3 opportunities for our runners to pick that up. Usually they don't pick it up on the first go through. They'll pick it up on one of those 2 later opportunities. It's a nice energy refill a little bit later on, kind of whenever they want it. So they will absolutely get that. As we see Kip coming up to Kip and Sloter's both kind of coming up here to where they're going to get the plasma beam. So Sloter's entering into the Cassius climb, and Kip kind of hot right on his heels.
And plasma is probably my favorite of the beams, only because it has a lot of different uses and a lot of different funny things that you wouldn't know playing casually.
Oh yeah. I think one of the best things that you'll get out of Randomizer is the microwave beam. That not something we'll be seeing tonight.
I doubt
in
it.
100% runs. No. All the bosses are going to be defeated by the time that we get our runners get the X-ray scope.
If we were going by game time, maybe, but not RTA. Or not real time.
I don't even know. Even if I'm just playing the vanilla game, I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, so Shiny Zenny here in Lower Norfair. Going to be coming up on Golden Chorizo in just a moment. And so what we're going to be seeing here from Golden Chorizo is Shiny Zenny's going to kind of line up and get Golden Chorizo to jump back against the wall. He's going to line up against these. We can see this in these rooms now. There are pillars in these in the back area. And there's one perfectly on the right side of Golden Chorizo's room. He's going to get Golden Chorizo to line up and jump back with that pillar. And Shiny Zen is just going to kind of sit in that pillar there. And 8 shots and Golden Chorizo is down. If you played this casually, you had a difficult time with Golden Chorizo. But you watch, Shiny Zenny is not going to have any problem. None of our runners are going to have any problem with Golden Chorizo tonight. Look at this.
The strat used to be you sit in front of him, and he'll still hit you, and you just keep charge shotting. But now the strat is, we found out he can't hit you if you sit here.
Nope, can't hit
Beautiful.
you. Cannot hit you. And we'll only give you those beams if you have greater than 30 missiles, or 30 or 35 missiles in your inventory. Shiny Zenny having 85 right now. That's regular missiles. It only counts regular missiles.
And I think it's good to note that you can actually hit that that green gate there from the reverse side, and you can skip the Golden Tortoise fight, But because this is 100% and there's a couple items that you need to go there to get, you won't see anyone actually doing that.
Yeah, that is something featured in
Any percent.
GT code. GT Classic. GT Classic runs. That, by the way, was a spectacular fast pillars by Shiny Zenny. We'll be seeing all of our runners do that a little bit later on.
I'd say Mickey Mouse is definitely one of the things you'll miss casually.
That is another room. That's another one of those suspect rooms that there's two kind of things there. One, that room is a trap, and you could fall down there. Now Shiny Zenny, we see him do an interesting thing there. As he left that room, he laid a power bomb, and the reason for that is the power bomb is going to explode, and it's going to cause the game to clear out the sounds, and that way the kind of rumble sound that room makes as it's raising the acid up kind of gets overwritten by the power bomb sound, and Shiny Zenny's able to get out of that room just a little bit faster because the sounds are clear.
If you're wondering why he didn't take damage while he was running through those side hoppers, it's because there's a small window. If after you shoot someone, they can't hurt you, so he just abuses that.
Yep.
And you see him get some frame perfect morph balls and goes straight through those spike platforms.
Yeah, the Giantess Giga in that room there are just really, really annoying because they can absolutely get in your way. They can hit you a couple of different points. At Shiny Zenny, and really handling that well. We'll see all of our runners handle that. As we see Kip and Sloters coming up here to pick up the Ice Beam, something that they did not pick up later earlier. Meanwhile, Shiny Zenny gonna have 20 shots here on Ridley.
Antinomy just did some really cool strat that I almost always forget about because I never use it, and that is you don't actually have to break all 3 of the blocks leading to Kraid with a super missile. You can just break one Mach Ball under and you won't lose any time. But I'm so used to just breaking them all that I usually do that.
Yeah, we we see a lot of folks do the break all 3 because you're just able to keep your full-on run speed and you don't have to worry about getting the Mach Ball. Plus, you don't have to worry about like kind of standing back up afterwards. You just run right on through and jump over across. It's definitely trickier to hit all 3, but
definitely. But you do it earlier in the run, and if you have the ammo, you might as well go for it because you're not pressed for supers at this point in the game.
No, absolutely not. Earlier you might be, but all right. Antinomy gonna come up here and get this Ice Beam.
Shiny Zenny clipping it through some blocks just because.
Yeah. These clips are they're awesome. Yeah, I'm just figuring that kind of stuff out. There's a clip you can actually when you're coming up out of Waterway in Big Pink, you can clip through there too. We didn't see anybody do that tonight, but occasionally you'll see a runner do that. All right,
yeah. Kip and Sloters coming up on Golden Torso.
Yep.
Sloters wanting to get. Looks like he's trying to get speed booster speed.
Yeah, you want to get that because those flames that jet up, they'll hit you and basically kind of stop your space jump through that room, which is really annoying.
You can space jump past them and not have to worry about the speed suit, but it is much harder.
Yeah, you gotta time it exactly right. You gotta be slower.
Yeah,
so.
Instead of just flying through the room, you have to have very specific positioning to be able to get through that without speed booster speed.
Yeah.
And if you notice, we haven't really been pointing it out. There's a lot of spring ball tech going on, which is beautiful. You see Sloters going over to get that missile using spring ball.
Yep, there it is. Best item in the game, being used all over the place. I mean, the runners are just jumping with it, and you see Zenny jump with it about 100 times already. That spring ball tech that Sloters did. By the way, that's super, super easy to do. You just hold the jump button. and you will never fall through those blocks.
And you can also time the jump button and jump normally, but it is a lot more difficult.
Nope, just absolutely hold the jump button.
Shiny Zenny coming out of Lower Norfair, and he's pretty much just getting some last cleanup and then going to the final boss. And oh, he also has Crocomire. Can't forget that.
Yeah, so Shiny Zenny is going to be going to do Crocomire, something that we saw our other runners do much earlier. He's got to go get that grapple beam. So that's after he does this Upper Norfair cleanup here. So he's going to be picking up the reserve tank here. He's going to be picking up a couple of missile packs that are in here. And the one thing about this route that Shiny Zenny has taken here is he's going to have full beam combo for Crocomire. So basically what he's going to do is he's going to charge up that Ice Wave plasma beam that he's got to a full, shoot it at Crocomire, and Crocomire's just going to walk all the way back. It's just a walk all the way back. So
normally if you use missiles or charge shots, he'll take maybe 1 or 2 steps back. But because Plasma's special ability is it's able to penetrate through enemies multiple times.
Yep.
Crocomire just hits it. He feels one bit of it. He says, "Nah, I'm good," and just walks out.
It just echoes through. You'll see the rings come off of Crocomire as it just kind of echoes through. Now, if you are sensitive to light, Crocomire will flash a number of times. So you might want to also look away from the screen. All right. Slaughter's picking up the power bombs of shame, thus called that for any percent. If you run out of power bombs and you need to pick them up, but they're no shame in picking them up here in 100% as they are required. And there it was. If you blinked, you missed it. That Crocomire fight is done by Shiny Zenny.
It's definitely the reason why why Plasma's my favorite beam. Definitely not the right reason for it to be my favorite, but it is.
Yeah, and all the swag there as he was able to just kind of morph ball jump up above Crocomire's head there, and just kind of has to wait for Crocomire to basically be done its animation cutscene thing.
Then he pretty much just waits for the cutscene to start.
Yep.
Which sometimes takes a while.
Yeah, these Ridley fights that we're seeing Kip and Slaughter's in, that was really nicely done there by Kip. And Slaughter's doing a pretty good job here managing Ridley. Ridley, one of the bosses, like Fantoon, he's got several AI modes and what Ridley does. But if you don't manage the fight well, Ridley can just kind of get out of whack on you, and you start taking a bunch of damage, and it becomes really ugly. But these have been some really, really nice fights. We're gonna see Antinomy come.
As he's coming up on Ridley, I'd like to actually talk a bit about the Ridley fight because it's probably the one that casually a lot of people have trouble with. And
Fantoon,
I'm gonna say one thing that I tell everyone who asks me about this casually: don't spin jump because it makes Ridley do weird things. Like his AI does weird things if you spin jump during the fight, so don't do that. And if you have full beam combo, which casually you should, it will only take 20 charge shots. So just go for that.
Yeah, much. It's the DPS wise, it is faster for 30 super missiles, but it's more reliable for the 20 shots.
Definitely.
Especially since Ridley's AI can just do crazy whack things.
Yeah, Ridley is... It's a fight I've seen change so much over the years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially in different there are very few categories that have the same strats for Ridley because you always have different items going into Ridley, and that changes the fight completely.
Yeah, any percent. There's any percent new route, any percent old route, right? Any percent old route will have the same beam combo. Any percent new route will have the runners will have Spazer Beam. There you can see X factors at to start off the fight sometimes. GT Classic will have everything, so you'll see kind of a similar fight there. But then there's low percents, right? Low percent ice is a completely different beast. There's lots and lots of categories with Super Metroid, lots of things to try. And that's not even talking about randomizers and stuff.
Yeah, randomizers are definitely what I've spent the most time in Super Metroid recently. Just because it's very strange playing randomizers because you have all these items to help you traverse the world, but it's weird when you say have to fight Ridley without charge beam. It changes the fight so much.
So anecdotally, I think my first speedrun tournament was the double anti-bingo tournament. I said 2016 or so. And I was racing against White Mage Becky. And yeah, that was the line that she gave me. It included fighting Ridley with no charge beam. Yeah,
it's no fun.
It's a different beast. And so there was that stored Shine Spark that Shiny Zenny stored all the way from Crocomire. He got that off of a spike suit, and he's used that to traverse all the way across the X-ray scope room. And so this is kind of the point where our runners' routes have diverged. Or I said it again, converged. Yes. Oh my goodness.
They're going for a lot of the same things now because the things that they did earlier, like everyone has now caught up at about the same point.
Yep.
And I can't think of too many items that are different between them now.
No, there are no items that are different. Everything is route-wise is exactly the same. So Shiny Zenny, what we see Shiny Zenny doing now is exactly what. Oh, that was a shame. He was going for a reverse slinky setup there, but got tripped up a little bit. Reverse slinky, absolutely spectacular strat. Basically, what happens is you kind of go into the Green Hill Zone there backwards with a blue echoes in space jump, and then you transform that into a mock ball, and then you take that mock ball with the blue echoes all the way through using spring ball up that room. It's unbelievable, ridiculously difficult to get, but if you ever see it in a run, absolutely spectacular.
Now Shiny Zenny is getting the last E-Tank of the run, and which is probably a lot of people's first casually if they really try for it.
Yeah, I think intention is to have the high jump boots in order to get that. But yeah, there are ways to get that without the high jump boots.
I played through this with my friend, and he saw that, and once he had bomb, and I told him bomb jumping was a thing, he immediately ran back and spent about 15 minutes just trying to bomb jump up there. But he did it, and I have to give it to him. Bomb jumping up there bomb jumping in general is not something you normally see new players, especially someone who's never touched this game before, do.
Yep. Absolutely something you can do. If you watch the demo of the game, as it starts just after the title screen, you can see stuff like that: bomb jumping, crystal flashing, shine sparking. All of these techniques that we're kind of seeing here tonight in our runs. They're all techniques that the developers, they absolutely intended. They're showing them off there in the demo of the game.
Yeah. And Kip and Sloters are both doing the slightly slower, but definitely easier strat of just using a mixture of screw attack and space jump to just get straight over. And you can also get through this room with just space jump and not screw attack, but it is a lot harder.
Yeah, the enemies just
a lot easier to mess up.
Yeah, the enemies there just get in your way. Absolutely. So yeah, this Shiny Zenny kind of in the throes of the final cleanup here. We're seeing him pick up these supers here, the criteria supers. We're gonna be seeing him pick up on one more missile pack, and that should be it for Shiny Zenny. He's gonna be heading down to Torian there.
Yeah. And another, I guess, a little bit of trivia. This last missile pack is also one of the first that you pick up in a casual playthrough.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it is right here at the beginning of the game, and all you need are bombs and Morph Ball to get it.
Yep. Look at that.
But there's no reason to get it, or really, why would you get it earlier in a 100% run?
It's a
bit slower.
Yeah, it's a little bit out of the way in 100% run. So you see the way that it's routed in here, kind of puts it on your way to Torian. And so that should be it. That should be the last item there for Shiny Zenny. We're going to be seeing him head over with his actually kind of commanding lead over the other featured runners here. He's going to be going into Torian and defeating the Metroids there and defeating the Mother Brain.
Yeah. And it's also good to note that Zenny chose a different route than the other three, and optimally it saves about 20 seconds.
Yep.
But he also has had a couple other several other minor little speed ups words that have really helped him take this lead.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at the start. Shiny Zenny currently in second place for world record, behind Behemoth by only a few seconds, with a 1:13.50 something like that to Behemoth's 1:13.43, something like that.
I think he brought it down to like 30 something recently.
Is it that? I mean, that's just like these times are absolutely absurd. Just with the speed with which these runners, speed and efficiency with which these runners go through, they blow through this very, very technical game. That is one thing that, if you're going to pick up this game, there's a lot to it. It's very technical. That being said, there's a lot of different levels and layers to the game. So for folks who do want to pick it up, you can start off with something like 100% versus any percent, which can be a lot harder. Now, 100% more of a grind. You've got to pick up a lot more stuff. But, you can get used to a lot of the rooms, get used to a lot of the tricks. And,
Yeah. And I'd say even if you're not really interested in speedrunning, it still is a great idea to learn a lot of the tech, because there are some things like quick charging and wall jumping and bomb jumping that you can just kind of integrate into normal gameplay, and they're not too technical, at least on a beginner level.
Yeah, even something like actually the mock ball. Oh, Shiny Zenny getting grabbed there.
So close to getting the baby Metroid skip.
Yeah. The mock ball actually is something that even casually you can integrate into your rooms. Not very hard to do. If you spend maybe 10 minutes or so, and you can get that mock ball to early supers.
And if you don't want to fight Spore Spawn as much as everyone else, then I definitely recommend learning mock ball, because you'll never have to fight Spore Spawn again.
Yeah, as opposed to some of these other ones here, these speed keeps that we see those guys doing. Those much trickier, much more difficult for the timing that you have to get down in order to get those correct.
Yeah. And while Shiny Zenny did miss, unfortunately, the baby Metroid skip, which is very difficult. We'll see if anyone else gets it. Now he'll be doing the Zebutite skip right there. And normally you have to just kind of missile through all of these little things, because all the little red thing that stopped on the first one will spawn on all of these. But if you skip the first one, none of the rest of them spawn. So
They spawn in order, so you can actually destroy the first one. The second one will spawn, and then you can skip through that. We see that technique done in GT Classic. For some reason, that's a little bit faster in GT Classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, here is Sloter's coming into Torian. And Kip, we see entering into the first Metroid room. Meanwhile, Antinomy picking up the last super missiles.
Indeed.
Yeah,
And
so, go ahead.
you go.
I was gonna say, Mother Brain 2 here, interesting. Takes 20 shots with this fully charged beam, just like Ridley. So, what is this here that Zenny seems to be doing?
Well, the thing is, earlier in the run, Zenny turned off his Vari suit, so the it takes the Mother Brain's Death Beam takes more E-tanks off of him because you need to be below a certain amount of health, otherwise this little end sequence won't happen. And so you see him running into Mother Brain's leg there over and over, just trying to get enough damage so he's able to skip immediately to Baby Metroid coming and saving the day.
Yep, and sadly, it looks like Zenny may have gotten locked to the floor here, but the intention here was actually... I
don't think
hope
it
so
is.
too.
But never seen this before.
Where he's locked into the wall.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but I don't think anything will happen bad.
Yeah, no, this should be fine for Zenny.
I would like to point out that Sloters did get the Baby Metroid skip, and he did an alternate Zebutite skip method, which is you just blast through the first one and skip the second one.
Please, no!
What is happening on Zenny's screen?
So Zenny's game has slowed down. He got looking backward. He got stuck to the floor looking the wrong way. And so basically what has happened is the game will decide when it kind of wants to come back. And it may be, as you can see, he can turn on missiles, but it may be a while. So
I've never seen this before.
yeah, this is terrible. This is something that could take half an hour to come back. So it's a really bad spot. Yeah, this is the danger of actually going for the stand-up glitch, and we're gonna be seeing all of these runners go for stand-up as we see Sloters damaging himself right now to get that 7 E-tanks, and it's gonna be taking the rainbow beam here. So, yep. So, yeah, Zenny's game may hopefully come back on him, but it's really, really unfortunate for Zenny because he was on a spectacular pace, and this, he has to suffer this, and that again, that's a danger of doing the stand up, right? We see Sloters here has got it so far successfully. Kip is going to be going for it here as well.
And Antimony's coming up on Baby Metroid skip right now.
Yeah.
Game, you can do it, dude. Please, I'm so close to still having first place in this race.
I feel really bad for Zenny. And Antimony getting the older Baby Metroid skip, but still saves a lot of time. Because you don't have to sit through Baby Metroid, eating all your E-tanks, and then having to go and refill them at the refill station.
Yeah. So, as you can see, right, both Kip and Sloters are kind of shooting at Mother Brain's head. Not Kip just yet, but now he is. And so what they're doing is they're actually damaging Mother Brain 3 before they're actually in Mother Brain 3. Optimally, you can shoot. You want to shoot Mother Brain 39 times. 40 times will actually damage Mother Brain. And there it was. Slaughter's got it optimally. You want that, and then you fire one hyper beam shot, and Mother Brain is gone. Now 40 will kill Mother Brain 3, but then it actually takes a little bit longer than firing that one additional hyper beam shot for some reason.
Hyper beam is the strongest beam in the game. Of course, you only can use it for the end sequence.
Yep.
But if I remember correctly, a charged shot with all the beams does 900, and just a regular shot with the hyper beam does 1,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think your numbers aren't accurate.
So it is. If you have hyper beam, you want to use it, but you only have it for the end of the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to. I mean, it's fine. All right, so
it's fun to play with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Slaughter's and Kip making their way through the escape. There's a spectacular Behemoth spark there, popularized by Behemoth, by Slaughter's. We're going to see Kip do basically the same kind of thing. This is really, really unfortunate for Zenny. Really, really unfortunate.
I mean, I'm glad this is the first qualifier and not the last. He still has other chances. There are 3 more qualifiers that he's able to participate in after this one, but it's still really unfortunate that he isn't able to get him timed down.
Yeah, so Zenny will not be able to participate tomorrow morning, as that is still round 1. But next week there are 2 races that Zenny can participate in, either of those. And we do have a dot done by Slaughter's here, who was finished in first place with a time of 1:18.19. So congratulations to him. Kip has also dot done with us in second place for with a time of 1:18.52. So GG's to those.
Both of which very, very good runs.
Yeah, but I mean these are absolutely spectacular runs. Sub 120 for 100% is it's a really, really good time. And we see Antinomy damaging Mother Brain 3 here. And we're gonna be seeing him. Yeah, another one shot. That is awesome.
Well, now we have this beautiful credit sequence. I'm kind of disappointed no one went to save the animals just because they could.
Oh, who wants to save the animals when
My little sister, always.
can save the frames? Well, I mean, but is your little sister a speedrunner?
Oh, no.
Well, there you have it. Speedrunners want to save the frames. Save the frames, folks.
I'm all about saving the frames. And, at every GDQ event, I'm always donating to kill the animals.
Excellent.
No one wants to save those stupid pixels.
All right. Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure the number of pixels that make up those animals is less than the number of frames you save by killing them. So I'm not at all apologetic about it. All of them getting a Behemoth Spark, beautiful.
Yeah, really nicely done. There are 2 options, Spark, there. The other one is you can just spark up the right side. You can spark up the left side. There it is!
Zenny's
game is back. All right, spectacular. All right, so we're going to be seeing Zenny killing Mother Brain 3 here.
Oh, no!
All right, and it looks like
I lost 3rd. All right, 4th place.
It
Fourth
looks
place.
like
Come on.
Antinomy has completed it looks like Antinomy has completed the run in 3rd place with a time of 1 hour 20 minutes and 56 seconds. So really nicely done.
Yeah. And I'd say let's give a plug just to the community for Super Metroid, because I'd say it's one of the friendliest speedrunning communities that I've ever been a part of. I speedrun a couple different games, and it's probably the one where I've had the most people say, "Hey, I'm gonna help you out with this. Like, helping you with this. We're doing this. Let's go." And so if you want to get into Super Metroid, there are tons of people willing to help you. There's tons of resources, tutorials for everything. So if you want to look as cool as all of these guys doing this, you definitely can.
So, GG's to our runners. We have a couple more places here. Azelnaut 03, sorry if I killed that, has finished in 4th place with a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 25 seconds. Shiny Zenny here has finished in 5th place with a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 32 seconds. And Mr. Guy Average has finished in 6th place with a time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, 27 seconds. Link Demon has finished in 7th place with a time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, 47 seconds. Nin Toaster in 8th place with 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 38 seconds. And we're going to see if we can get our runners in here for interviews. Canadian Owl has finished 9th place with 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 12 seconds. These are some really, really awesome times. I know we didn't feature a lot of these runners, but folks, there are almost 40 runners, some like 38 runners in this race. A lot of really, really good Super Metroid action happening tonight across the community. You know, it's awesome. Again, there is another qualifier race tomorrow morning. None of these runners who raced here tonight in qualifier round 1A are eligible to race tomorrow. So you're going to see a completely different set of folks who are going to race tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I believe that is going to be on SpeedGaming 3. So if you want to check that out, you can check out the schedule, follow all the SpeedGaming action, and we'll give it a second here if we can see if we can get any of these folks in here for an interview.
Yeah. I'd say everyone is, except maybe Zenny with that unfortunate breaking, is very happy with their run. At least I would be with these times and how well they played.
Yeah, that's really just an unfortunate thing. Yeah, it's something that it's a danger when you do the stand up, and it's a heartbreaker to see that on such a good run, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, in 10th place we have Zeb316 with a time of 1 hour, 25 minutes and 45 seconds.
Looks like Kip has joined us on the mic.
Yeah, Kip has just joined us. Kip, an organizer of this tournament as well. So one, thanks for helping out with that, and two, how do you think the race went?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing tonight? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear just
Absolutely.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel really good about it actually. If I had gotten the baby skip, I would have straight PB'd by like 20 seconds right there, which I was not expecting for the first qualifier. But I feel good about my play overall. I mean, I usually get baby skip, but you can't guarantee it 100% of the time. But other than that, I feel I played really solid for me. So I felt good about it. It was fun, and it looked like we had some really good performances. I feel terrible for Zenny, obviously, but I will say this, don't worry, folks. He'll crush a really really fast time. Well.
There
We'll be
are
fine.
more. Yeah, there are more qualifiers to come. We did mention that. So absolutely, yeah, we think we'll see Shiny Zenny again. So 118. I mean, that's a really really respectable time, man. That's a phenomenal time.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I was happy. I basically had two goals for the qualifiers, and they don't really have anything to do with seeding. It's more about I'm going to try to run in all four. I'd like to have a sub 120 in all
Mhm.
four, and I wanted to run at least 118 out of the four. And so I'm actually really happy that I knocked that out tonight. And so really at this point, no matter how I do in the next three, I'll kind of have already achieved a goal time that I wanted. So I'm feeling pretty good, and it was fun. And it's really exciting. I think that the coolest part for me about this was just seeing so many people come out and run Hundo together. Really, really cool event. So I'm glad that a lot of people came out, and I hope everybody had fun.
Yeah. Well, I certainly had fun being able to commentate this race.
It was a great time.
Oh yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, and I won't stay too long. I know there's still a lot of other things to talk about, whatnot. But I'll just say I appreciate you two coming in and doing this for us. It's really cool that we got to feature some people and see some races, have some chat. But the commentary always carries everything. So thank you guys very much. We definitely appreciate it. And for all of you guys out there watching, hope you come and join us in tomorrow or Sunday's qualifiers or next week. And GG, I'll catch you guys later.
All right, thank you, Kip.
See you later.
Yeah, we just wanted to set the bar super high for all of those who follow us and commentate for this Super Metroid tournament. So it's going to be a lot of high impact racing.
I may be mistaken, but I believe like 122 where Shiny Zenny is and lower is the top, I think 20. No, about the top 30 runners, like on the leaderboard right now. And
right,
having them all perform that well is truly a testament to how skilled these players are, these runners.
Yeah, and it looks like we have Antinomy joining us. How are you tonight?
Good. How's your life, sir? Were you doing us the honor and the pleasure of commentating our race?
Yes, he was.
I did get that honor along with Peanut Butter here. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you for the commentary. I really, obviously, all of us, as a community, appreciate you taking the time for volunteering to do this. And yeah, restreamers as well. Thank you. Shout outs to you all. Hope you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed it, I hope I got 100%. I'm just happy that I did.
You did indeed get 100%.
That's always the fear. Just waiting for the credits to scroll enough so you see 100%.
Yeah. Everybody who's run this category has gotten the dreaded 99% at least once.
Oh, don't remind me.
Or 91% even.
So going into tonight's qualifier, what were you thinking?
I wanted a low 120 or 12x, whatever. Like last night, it's not even to downplay whatever, people's PBs, having a 125, 126, 127, 123, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, I ran a 123 last night and I just felt horrible because I literally forgot everything and I fumbled through all the rooms and just had the worst time.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what it felt like. And it was literally last night. And this entire time I was just like practicing hundo and trying to like familiarize myself with the rooms again, and was able to run this. I missed like some easy strats here and there. It's just like tiny mistakes, but still, overall, the fact that I did this poorly in a way and still got this, I am confident that I will be able to keep this going.
Yeah, a 120 is that's nothing to shake a stick at as far as times go. So, will we be seeing you in future rounds?
I'm gonna try. Obviously, like it's just the beginning, and I just want to have fun with it. It's really good to be able to come back. I haven't this is like literally my first stream in like 6 months.
Wow.
So of course, like the tournament calls for the races to be streamed. Whatever I'm participating in to be streamed. So yeah, I had to do it, and I had to run the game, I guess, in a way, seriously, for a good while. But yeah, it's good to come back to, and everyone's been so wholesome, and everyone's been so friendly and nice, and yeah, it's a good joy to be able to just come back to all this. It was nice. It was fun.
I know it's awesome. We had like 38 runners tonight, and we're seeing people kind of come all out of the woodwork. I know I was talking with Christofalo earlier, who hasn't been around for like 2 years, and he's geared up for this. So this tournament has got a lot of people excited. And so I'm certainly glad to see you around again. I mean, yeah, I think, I'm certainly excited. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make any of the qualifiers, but I'm definitely gonna be hanging around on commentary. So I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in this tournament.
Yeah, just keep at it, have fun. There's a lot of people participating, and I didn't even really anticipate there to be so much hype for 100%. Like even, or like I just saw right now that whoever finished 22nd place ran a 132, and so that says a lot that people are really investing, putting so much time into trying to get their times down. It's phenomenal. It's great. I like it a lot, and I can't wait to see every single one, especially you, Serb. Especially you. I cannot wait to see you lower that time, as you should.
I'm so happy that 100% got all of this support, because I remember 100% was actually, I think, the second route that I started when I started years ago, like maybe 6 years ago now, and nobody really wanted to run 100% back then because it wasn't well optimized. It's definitely not to where it is now, and a lot of it's been just a lot of small optimizations and like stepping stones to where it is, and now it's just kind of this amazing technical run that I'm so glad that a lot of people actually enjoy running now.
Yeah, the last time we had a tournament was like 3, maybe 4 years ago.
For Hundo? Yeah, it was 2016, and that was the first tournament that I caught.
That was like the last time. That was like when I stopped speedrunning, was after that tournament, or stopped speedrunning Super Metroid, at least. I still keep up with it because it's just an amazing game to speedrun. Although, maybe if it's your first speed game, just prepare to be patient because there's a lot to learn.
Yeah, there is absolutely a lot to learn with this, and we saw that tonight, right? All the tricks that we were talking about, all the enemies, the room names, right? The amount of damage that our runners were calculating for Fantoon and things like that. It's just, it can seem daunting, but I think we've all kind of said it in our own way. The community is very open. It's very welcoming. If you're going to join, come in and try it out, and there's going to be a lot of people who will be able to help you out, point you to where you look and learn the strats and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Do you have any other thoughts here, Anthony?
no, I just cannot wait to catch. What I'm gonna watch it back because I really want to see what other people are doing, and that's like the beauty of Hundo.
Yep.
Yeah,
just
so many different
seeing-
little strats.
Yeah, it's just the intricacies and honestly, the flavor of people's playstyles is just really cool to watch. Everyone has something unique of their own, and yeah, I just look forward to the rest of it. So I really hope it's a good one.
It definitely will be.
Yeah, there's lots more to come. It's going to be spectacular. Yeah, I think we're all very, very excited for this.
Yeah, thank you again, Serb and Peanut Butter, for the time, commentary, the restream to the restreamers, and yeah, see what happens next.
All right.
Big shout out to SpeedGaming for the restream.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you, Speed Gaming, for putting us on. Looks like we're not going to get Sloters or Zenny in. So GG's to them. They still put on, really good race. It's unfortunate what happened to Zenny there. The dangers of doing stand up. But yeah. Any other thoughts, Peanut Butter?
I guess just restate, if you want to get into this game, get into it. It's as easy as clicking a Discord server invite and saying, "Hey, I'm new. What should I do?"
Yep.
So, yeah, everyone will help you. I don't think there's a single runner I've talked to who is not willing to help somebody who's new or talk about strategies. So, yeah, and I think that's about it.
Yep. All right. Well, once again, thank you all for coming out. And this has been the round 1A race of the Super Metroid 100% tournament. This the round 1 qualifier. Round 1B is going to be tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to check the schedule for all the Super Metroid action coming your way. And with me has been Peanut Butter tonight. I am Cerberov, and we will see you next mission.
To your force.